Okay, so this is the second lesson in your revision for linear equations. Okay, so it's same setup as again. This is what your learning objectives are for the tax incidence and the price elasticity and demand and supply. And these are the specific questions that you might get asked. So we're going to work through all of these one by one and show you how it's done. Okay, right. So first of all, plot a demand and supply curve from the equations. Okay, so automatically we can plot the q-intercept there for the demand curve, and we're going to do the p-intercept. So we're going to do set qd to equals 0. So 0 equals 200 minus 50p, and then we're going to add the 50 to each side, so that becomes 50p, and then 200, and then to leave the p on that side we divide by 50, and that leaves us 4. Okay, so we've got the second point there, so we've got our demand curve. Okay, so let's pop that in. Let's put that in a different color. So let's start it there and go all the way down there to 200. Okay, brilliant. So now we're going to do a similar thing for so get rid of this. We're going to do a similar thing for the q-intercept. Okay, well, for quantity supplied. So it's minus 100, so that's no good to us, so we need to work out the p-intercept. So we're going to set quantity supplied to 0. Okay, so 0 equals minus 100 plus 50p. So we're going to add 100 to each side to get rid of that minus 100. So now that equals 50p. Okay, and then divide that by 50, and that leaves us with p equaling 2. Okay, so that means we've got 1 there. Okay, so we need one other point. So let's change p there to 5. So it should be a 5. There we go, 5. So minus 100 plus 50. Okay, so that will give us minus 100 plus 150. Sorry, plus 250. And that gives us 150. So we plot that, so 5 and 150, so that's there. Plot that, then we can link those two together. So let's use a different colour line for that. So 2 starts there, and then, let's put a proper line there. So same for you, use a ruler. I'm going to go through there. There we go. So, and then let's label these lines appropriately. So let's get rid of this working. Get rid of this working. And label these lines. So P and Q and S and D. So it's D, not P. Okay, there we go. So what do we need to do now? Okay, so we're going to draw. So we've done this, we've plotted that, we've plotted the supply curve. Now we're going to draw a new supply curve. So say if the tax is $1, we know we don't even need to do any calculations. We can just go bang, 1, go up again, another 1, and then we can link those two together. So we'll do this one black. So there we go. Let's start there. Oh, start there and go through there. Okay. That's just about there, parallel. So S. Oh. Then we label that S plus tax. There we go. So we've done that now. So we've done the top two. Now determine the initial and new equilibriums. Okay, so let's mark those on here. Bang, 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 bang. Okay, so a bit hard to control this pen, but that's 50 and then 30. Go down here. There, the new equilibrium. That's a new customer price, and then we go across there. This is a new producer price. Okay, we know the difference between those two is $1 because that's the tax. Okay, so now we just need to make sure that this original equilibrium is correct, because we know in diagrams sometimes it's not quite there. So let's work this out for the original equilibrium. So we're gonna, let's put equals, we're gonna add 100 to both sides. Okay, so that gets 300, and we're gonna add 50 to that side to get 100p, and then we're gonna divide both sides by 100, 100, and that leaves us with 3 equals p, which we can see is correct. So let's just make sure the quantity is correct. So we put 3 into the formula there, so that's 200 minus 150 gives us 50. Okay, so we'll do 200 minus 50 times 3, so 200 minus 150 gives us 50. So yeah, that's correct. So we've worked that out. Okay, and what would you do in your exam? You'll probably just quickly do it for here as well. So minus 100 plus 50p equals will equal 50 as well. So that's the initial area. So that's the initial one done. Okay, so initial one done. Right, so we need to do the new equilibrium. So we need to change this slightly to represent that the customer and the producer have a different price now. So if we move over here, 200 minus 50 PC equals minus 100 plus 50 PP. Okay, so we can't have different PP and PC on both sides, but what we do know is the customer price is the tax level above the producer price. Okay, so whatever the tax level is, the producer price is minus that from the customer price. So we can change it round now to read minus 100, okay, minus 100 plus 50, and PP is the same as saying producer customer price minus 1. Okay, so if this was a subsidy, we'd put plus 1 there. Okay, so there we go. We've changed it around, so we've got PC on both sides. So let's finish this off here. 200 minus 50 PC. Okay, and what we need to do now is just solve for PC. So first thing we need to do is 100 plus 50 PC, so we multiply the brackets out, minus 50. Okay, and then we need to add, so that's a minus, add the 100 to both sides and add that 50 to both sides. So we get 350. and that leaves out the 50 PC to this side, gives us 100 PC. Okay, and then divide both sides by 100. Okay, and that gives us 3.5. Okay, so we know that PC is 3.5. Okay, we also know that PP is the same as customer price minus 1. So whatever the tax is, in this case is $1, so minus 1. So 3.5 minus 1 is 2.5. Okay. Okay, so what we need to do now then, we've worked out the equilibrium prices. We just need to put those prices into the formula. So the PC goes into the quantity demanded, and the PP goes into the quantity supplied. Okay, so 200 minus 50, and that's 3.5 for the customer price. So that gives us 200 minus 175, okay, which gives us 25. Okay, and then obviously for this one we do 2.5, so that's going to be 125. Okay, so minus 100 plus 125 gives us 25. Okay, so that is where we get the 25 from there. Okay, so it all works out, so that's all the equilibrium done. Okay, so on the next video, we're going to tackle these next points here. Okay, so let me prepare for that. Let me get rid of these. Okay, and I'll see you in the next video.